Good morning, everybody, and nice to be back with you after a week of hiatus owing to my voice and seasonal allergies. To be honest with you, it is not totally back to normal. I'm still coughing a little bit, and my throat is very much still scratchy, but I can talk. Last week it was bad. I didn't totally lose my voice, but it was not good, trust me. Very bad quality in terms of how I was able to speak. And when I tried to speak for any length of time, I would start coughing. And not just coughing, but having an uncontrollable attack of coughing. Very unpleasant for anybody to have to listen to or watch. So I really had to skip. This week I'm doing a lot better, but I can tell that it's still irritating my throat a little bit to talk for long lengths of time. So I guess I'm going to try to keep this a little bit shorter than usual, but you know how that usually goes. But I don't want to cough. Now I feel like I have to cough, so I have to stop thinking about it. So that's been what's going on. One of the things that's been going on with me. I never used to get allergies in the spring, and now I do. It's another one of these joys of the aging process, I guess. Your allergies change. My daughter gets really bad seasonal allergies. She always has. And so she has been suffering quite a bit as well. So when she's been getting up in the night and stuff when she doesn't feel good. So you can imagine how much fun that is. So we've been dealing with that for a little while. But okay, that's just that. Let's do a quick preview of what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. So we're going to be talking about the upcoming 100th episode. That reminds me to look at what number we're on. We are on Tea Time with Tiffany number 97. So I'm going to talk about what's coming up and what I have planned for episode 100 and after. And just a general what's been going on with me, what I'm going to be doing this upcoming Memorial Day weekend. And that's pretty much it. Those are our two things. Those are our two topics. So, okay. Let's start with what's been going on with me. So, I've been busy, but in a good way. I've been so relieved to not be teaching for the summer. I have a break. My colleagues are all teaching summer classes, and I am having a little bit of a guilty feeling about that, but I was not asked to teach a summer class because I have a writing project that I'm working on. So they want me to work on that instead, which is great because that's what I'd rather work on too. So I've been trying to switch gears, and for the past week or so, it's been fairly successful. Hoping that I can start to talk about this writing project in some more detail coming up here, and I think I might be able to. I have a conference call scheduled with the editor of this entire project because it's something that involves a lot more people than just me. So I will talk to her as one of the questions that I have for her about promoting and all of that. So stay tuned. But I really had to switch gears in order to move from my grading teaching mindset back into writing, and it's been a process to organize myself. I set up a schedule and just get back into the mindset of allotting time in my day for really buckling down and letting the creative process flow, because it's so different from my very task-natured type of a day when I'm teaching and or grading, because we have so much when we grade hundreds of items. So you definitely get into a task-oriented mode. So it's been a change. It's been a big change, but a good one, and one that I really, really needed. I think that come fall, I'll feel recharged, and so going back into teaching won't be bad at all. So hope springs eternal, but it's been lovely, and so I've been working hard and getting some things done. Have some ideas for where I want to go with all of that, and thinking about also my more informal writing on the blog and with Catholic Mom. And I've got some fun ideas, I think, for summer topics, things coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Our summer book club poll is still open. You can't open it up on the mobile site. You have to go to your favorite laptop or desktop, open up the full site, and you'll see the poll along the right-hand side of the blog, and you can vote for the book that we're going to be reading. I last checked yesterday, and the winning title so far is the historical scriptural based fiction called The Well based upon the story, of course, of the woman at the well meeting Jesus and giving her like a whole backstory. And so that's the one that has the most votes so far. Coming in second is The Cat in the Stacks book, Arsenic and Old Books. But there's still, time. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about getting started. I don't have a date yet for when we would start reading. I'm thinking sometime in June, but we'll finalize that coming up. Voting is still open, I believe, through Tuesday because I'm going to be away. So our schedule will be a little bit different in terms of the vlog next week because I'm going to be on vacation and I won't be blogging. So I will be tied up both Monday and Tuesday of next week. So you won't be hearing from me until Wednesday. So our schedule will be a little bit different. I don't think anybody really minds. So that's that. But yeah, so I'm excited about what's coming up with that. So we'll see how that turns out and what book gets the most votes. Other than that, I just mentioned I'm going to visit my sister. The whole family is driving up to Maine to visit my sister and her family. We're all very excited. It's a little bit of a longer drive for us, and my kids have never made a drive that is that long. So I'm hoping that they don't get too annoying. I guess that's where I'm going with that. So we'll see. Henry keeps saying, can't we just fly? That would be so much easier. Well, Henry does not seem to realize that it costs a lot more to pay for 4 airline tickets than it does to drive everybody in one car. So it'll be a long drive, but we're looking forward to it. We're going leaving tomorrow, and so we're excited. And I'm sure we're gonna have a good time doing some outdoorsy things, visiting, having cookouts. So I'm just hoping everybody sleeps good. I have a 6-year-old and I still worry about this. She doesn't get up in the night all that often, but if she's scared or sick or anything, we have night wakings. And I am like permanently scarred from having newborns in my house that I worry so much about getting a full night of sleep because it just impacts me so poorly. And for such a long time, the older I get, the harder it is to recover from not getting a good night of sleep. And so it just takes like a while to come out of that coma. So I'm hoping that we don't have that to deal with while we're away, but there are no guarantees. So pray for us. But I'm excited about that. What else has been going on with me? Sort of in Catholic stuff. I went to confession last week. It was lovely. I try to go every 3 or 4 months, I guess, but I don't keep track. And I don't keep track of it on my phone, which is what I should do. And so I can never remember. And I just do my best. When it feels like it's time, I just go. And I have felt very refreshed ever since then. I had a different priest who was visiting the parish, who was doing confessions that day. And it was a really good experience. And I have felt really revitalized ever since then. And today, which is May 25th, as I'm recording this, is the Feast of the Ascension. And in most dioceses, they move this feast to the following Sunday. But in my diocese, they do not. I don't think that there's that many that do that. But where I live, there is still an Ascension Thursday, and it is a holy day of obligation. So I wanted to go to the Vigil Mass last night, and I didn't get there because I was hungry and I just wanted to eat dinner when I got home. So that's what we did. And so I was determined to make it to 8 a.m. Mass this morning, and I was mostly successful. I have slacked off in my morning routine now that I'm not teaching anymore because I don't have to be here, right at a given early point in the morning to be able to teach by 9. So I've been allowing myself to stay in bed a little bit longer, taking longer with coffee and such at home, getting the kids out the door. And so it was a challenge for me this morning, especially since I wanted to throw a load of clothes in the wash before I left because I wanted some things cleaned for our trip. It was a rush to get to my parish by 8 a.m. and I was a couple minutes late, and they move quickly at that 8 a.m. Mass. So I was there by 8:04 and they were already about to read the gospel. So things had moved fast. I had missed quite a bit, but I did the very best I could. It is pouring rain here. And I had to park down the street a little ways and walk in the rain, so that took up a couple minutes too, because I was getting there at about 8:01, but the time I parked and walked, it ate up a few of my minutes. It's still my fault because I should have left my house earlier. But I did the best that I could, and it was lovely. I liked attending Mass during the week. I so rarely do it, but it is wonderful when I'm able to. So got that in, drove here, and getting myself organized for the day. So let's segue into what where we're going with the podcast. I'm really excited about this. So this is episode 97, and I'm hoping that over the weekend, two things. If I remember to bring my audio recorder with me, and two, if we have time. So if both of those things happen, I'm hoping to record a tea time with my sister, I think, which would be really fun. So that would be episode 98. If that, if we're not able to coordinate that, there'll still be a regular 98 next week. I don't know if we will do a video or just audio. We might just do audio. That's a little bit easier. So you'll see. It'll be a big surprise, I guess, next week as to how this works out. So what I'm thinking coming up here with tea time. So coming up for the 100th episode, I wanted to make it a little special, I guess. And so I've got some gentle things planned. So I say gentle. I just really wanted to freshen things up a little bit. I didn't want to feel like I just do things the same all the time because I'm afraid to try anything new. I don't want to try things new just for the sake of them being new, but it just felt to me like time to reevaluate what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I solicited your feedback, and I heard back from several of you. Everybody said they pretty much like tea time the way it is. They like that it's on the shorter end of the spectrum in terms of podcasts. I had a couple of suggestions for perhaps incorporating in some kind of a regular segment, maybe talking about novenas or prayers or something like that. Oh gosh, I'm trying to stifle cough, which is very unpleasant. That was a close one. So yeah, it was really good. And so what I'm planning to do is nothing drastic at all, because I think that mostly what I'm doing is working. But I'd like to just, interject a few fresh things based upon the feedback that I received. So you'll see how that all works out in episode 100, which I guess will be in 3 episodes from now. I can do math in public. So yeah, and so I'm kind of working on that, getting it all ready. Like I said, it's not going to be drastic. What I'd like to do, sort of looking to the short-term future of the next 6 months or so, I'd like to maybe have guests on, not all the time, but as it organically we have an opportunity, I'd like to make that happen. So like I'm going to be seeing my sister. Sometimes that may mean that I only grab the audio and not a video, but hopefully everybody is amenable to that. It might mean sometimes that there's a video and no audio if I don't have the audio recorder, I guess. So we have multiple ways of putting together this podcast, and I usually put it out in both. Sometimes it just maybe, and this podcast, if you will, started as a video only vlog, I guess would be the proper term, and then it segued into being available as audio as well. So I will kind of find our equilibrium with that, but I would like to have friends and family on when there is the right opportunity for them to join me and for us to talk about something that I think would be interesting and fitting for the show. So, when I visit with friends over the summer, I'd like to record with them. So it won't be a regular thing, just sort of a special thing whenever it comes about. So that's one thing. I would like to have, organize the show a little bit more and have sort of regular segments. So going back to the, for the short-term future for 6 months and coming up, I'm thinking about looking into and investing in new equipment. It takes time for me to do the research on this because I don't know what I'm doing. So I have what is called an H1 audio recorder that I'm not going to show on the video because it would disturb the audio for me to pick it up. It's just a tiny little thing, and it's nice and portable and easy to take with me. And I like him. I think he does a very good job. I'm wondering though if, I have a nicer microphone, which I use when I do video only, recordings. So like when I was on the Catholic Mom podcast, I wasn't recording the audio, so I didn't need to worry about it. I used my microphone. It's nicer, but I can't plug it into my little audio recorder because it just doesn't have the right output to be able to handle what I have with this microphone. There might be some microphones that you could use with this, but my equipment just doesn't quite match up. So I'm just wondering if it would be worth it, because I do use it all the time, if it might be worth it to look into upgrading. And I've also heard things about mixers. I don't know anything about mixers. So, but what it would be nice to be able to do is insert little bumpers in the audio, at least, show to let the audience know, if you will, a little indicator that this is the segment that we're, moving into. So if there was a, what's going on bumper and a Catholic saints talk or whatever it's going to be bumper, that's beyond the equipment that I have right now. Those are very simple things, but Tifany moves slowly in this learning of new technology and things realm. I've come a long way, but I still have a long way to go. So I'm thinking about that. That would be nice. And if I had a mixer, that might make it easier for me to audio record over Skype too with somebody else. So I'd like to look into that. And like maybe around Christmas time, that could be something that I have on my wish list. We'll see. But it's on my mind. And, this is a small little family that we have here at Life of a Catholic Librarian, but and Tea Time with Tifany. But it's very meaningful to me, and hopefully it is to you too. I know that I have loyal followers out there who read and listen. And so it's just nice to, I think, keep things up to a certain standard, a certain quality for you. I know that there are audio, especially podcasts out there that are much better produced than what I do on a weekly basis. But I'm trying, and I do want to keep moving forward and not just keep things the same because I'm afraid to learn how to do anything new. So that's what's been on my mind about it. I think it's a positive shift in terms of my focus and energies for bettering the show. And I'm excited about where it's going. So we'll talk about that more in episode 100. And even if I'm not able to have bumpers, I will tell you all about how I'd like to organize the show, and, just have it have a consistent format from week to week, which we kind of do now, but it's just very loosey-goosey in terms of the theme and how I talk, in what order I talk about things. And so I'd like to organize that a little bit more. So that's where we're going. I'm excited about it. And we'll go through this journey together, which I think will be absolutely wonderful. For the summer book club, I was thinking maybe we could have a Google Hangout, which would be like a Google Hangout on air, and then people could join in the chat room. They've changed Google Hangout on air since I last did it, so this again is going to require a little bit of research on my end, but I might be able to make that happen over the summer. I think it would be fun. I don't know availability-wise what would work, how many people would be able to join in, but I don't think that that's a reason to not try, I think we should try. So that will be our goal for maybe sometime in July. Yeah. So if anybody knows a lot about holding a live Google Hangout, let me know. I have participated in those, but I did the one with Christina. I think I started it, but like I mentioned, they've changed it since then. But others that I've participated in have been initiated by other people. So need to get my act together on that front, but we'll get there. So that's what we have going on this week. I'm like super sad that I'm going to be missing my dance class this week because I'm in a real dance zone right now. We had wonderful trip. I wrote about that earlier in the week, to study with a dancer. Lives about 3.5 hours from where we are. Wonderful, great experience, and I'm really excited going into the summer performance season, and I'm just feeling very creatively inspired by that right now. And we have some ideas to the troupe about things that we'd like to do, and gosh, it's such a good feeling to share in a creative endeavor with other people and be coming up with new ideas for what you want to do. It's very exciting. So good things are coming, my friends. I really feel I really feel it. It's the Holy Spirit or something. I have a good feeling about what's going to be coming up for us this summer and after that into the fall and winter. So, what is going on with you? What do you think? Revisiting like where we're going with the podcast and with the blog. Do you have any ideas for what you would like to see me do? If you would like to participate in some way, how would you like to do that? Let me know because now is the time. I think it's really great to try new things, and sometimes you end up going back to other things that you had done before, the way you did it before, or maybe a mix of some old and some new, and that's okay. It's You don't just want to keep things the same because you're afraid. And with me and learning new technology, I can sometimes fall into that rut. And so I don't want to do that. And I think that so far, so good. I just move really slowly with getting the new things going, but that's okay. So write in and let me know what you think. I hope that you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and I will look forward to talking to you all next week. It'll be a later in the week heavy type of a thing at the blog, like I mentioned, because I will be on vacation. But I will talk to you all midweek next week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.